The slowness you live with has nothing to do with lack of energy or opportunities, but with the daily habit of saying yes to what consumes you. Each time you accept someone else's expectations, unnecessary purchases, or empty conversations, it is subtracting years of your existence. It is not tired what you feel. It is exhaustion for dividing yourself into 1,000 pieces. Imagine life as a wagon loaded with frets that are not yours. You drag it with all your strength, suffocated by dust, but keep nodding with each new order, take it too. And with each yes, a new burden is thrown over your back. Do a sincere exercise. Analyze your daily life. How many tasks do you perform by obligation, not by desire? How many times do you accept works that suffocate your essence? How many times go to places you don't want, just not to disappoint others? Each time you shut up and agree, your time fades. There is an old wisdom that says, who runs after everything ends with nothing. This is not just a poetic metaphor. It is the raw reality. You may think that it avoids conflict saving strength, but in fact, you are losing the most valuable, life itself. Each unnecessary yes don't steal minutes, steals decades. And that's the most painful truth. If you don't learn to say no now, one day you will wake up and realize that while you still breathe, your life is over. Visualize the scene. A man in the market. Vendors approach, each offering a small object. He accepts, puts in the bag. At first it sounds light, but in an hour your hands shake, your shoulders hurt. Your breath fails. He can no longer walk, but the bag overflows with useless things. Thus lie millions, accumulating small weights daily that, added, break them gradually. You may think that your days are just running, but the truth is deeper. They are days enslaved by the expectations of others. It is not you who command your time, it is an accountant who distributes it without discretion. A sage has already noted, saying yes is easy, but only no builds ways. When you first realize this, fear rises, because no means conflict, risk, tension. But it is precisely that word that can return to you control over your own existence. Ask yourself, how many yes could you be replaced by a firm no? How many empty appointments? How many impulsive purchases? How many purposeless conversations would it disappear, and how many free hours would it come about? The answer is simple. As long as you do not master the art of refusing, your life will go halfway. It will work harder. It will end up more, but it will come less, because your time and energy will belong to others. Remember, to say no is not rejecting life, it is to refuse the bondage. It is the little things that make their existence slow and heavy. You think they are unimportant details. To meet a trivial request, spend on something superfluous, lose 10 minutes in a meaningless conversation. But it is these details that, accumulated, become years, and when you look back, regret is inevitable. Imagine a drop of water falling on a stone. Once, nothing happens. 10 times, no trace. But if the drop falls every day, the stone will break. So your yes work. You don't realize your weight, but they corrode your life until the emptiness lies. I met a person who always answered small favors, helping a neighbor changing home, taking an extra task at work, extending a family connection that should last minutes but extended for hours. He didn't want to hurt anyone, so he said yes until he realized that the years had spent in his dreams, forgotten. When he tried to recover them, it was late. To refuse a little thing is to win a whole day. Avoiding an unnecessary purchase is not saving money. It is preserving freedom. To ignore a purposeless commitment is to give yourself with time for what really matters. How many times have you said yes for the convenience of others, sacrificing your hours? How many times did you buy something superfluous just because it was cheap? These coins have become lost fortunes. These minutes, wasted years. Those who do not learn to say no to trivialities are condemned to live in chaos. Run without stopping, but does not advance. It fills your garbage space of others and wonders why there is no room for what is essential. When you stop accepting every detail necessary, the energy comes back. Your days get lighter. You feel that you control time instead of being controlled by it. Life accelerates the moment you leave unnecessary weights. Your wagon advances not because you got stronger, but because you stop carrying what doesn't belong to you. Serious this. If you don't say no to little things, you are saying no to your own life. Every detail you assume costs a piece of your destination. And here is the crucial point. Learning to refuse the superfluous today is training for tomorrow's great negatives. When you get rid of the unnecessary now, tomorrow you will have the strength to reject what can really destroy your way. You live too much the lives of others. He works to meet others' expectations, follows ways that are not his own, and says yes to the dreams of others, while their own go out. This makes it slow. This drains your energy. Look at honesty. How many decisions have you made just because it's right? It's expected. It's what parents want. It's what friends advise. He thought he was doing a duty, but actually rented his freedom. A young man from our community dreamed of being a painter, but his parents insisted. Be a lawyer, it's safer. He'd obeyed. For 10 years, he followed a path that was not his own. The money even came, but life seemed to crawl like a swamp. Only when he had the courage to say no to the expectations of others did he feel his chest filled with air for the first time. His screens didn't sell well, but he felt alive, and only then did his existence gain speed. Each time you say yes to the goals of others, you're automatically saying no to yours. It's like selling your best years to look convenient. You smile at others, but inside you go out. Life does not admit substitutes, either yours or it is alien. And if it is alien, it will be slow as an eternal Monday. The meaning of which Viktor Frankl spoke is not in the eyes of others. Only you can choose it. Either it lives for yourself, or burns your life meeting expectations that are not yours. It may seem that saying yes to others is an act of care, but it is an illusion. True care is honesty. When you say yes where you should say no, betraying yourself and also to those who depend on you. Because a person exhausted for living the lives of others has no energy to give joy to the family, children, to the loved. Understand, your life will never earn rhythm while you carry bales that are not yours. They are too heavy. Do not allow you to accelerate. Say no to the goals of others and feel, for the first time, your road gets straight. You will discover forces that you didn't even know you had, because your own strengths will be directed to your own way. The truth is hard, but simple. It is better to hurt once than to pass life by dragging on the weight of what is not yours. It is better to betray the expectations of others than to betray your own dreams every day. Sablacos are the most silent thieves his life has ever known. They smile at you, promise easy joy and instant pleasure, but each time you say yes, you are delivering a piece of your destination. Remember the last time you planned to sleep early, but gave way to another hour on your cell phone. It's not bad, he thought, but the next morning, he woke up exhausted, without energy, and the day faded in emptiness. Or this time he decided to save money, but spotted something beautiful and whispered, just this time. At that moment, his dream of freedom retreated. Another month, another year. I know a man who, for years, has spent on loan-paid amusements. Why wait? I need to live the now, he justified. His neighbor, of the same age and race, kept a little every day. 10 years later, the first worked to pay debts. The second bought a house. One lived for the expertise, the other for the future. The difference was not in money, but in the ability to say no. Each Sablaco is a Kahneman trap. Quick thought whispers, take it, it's tasty, but behind every instant joy hides a slow pain. On the contrary, a firm no today builds tomorrow's freedom. It seems that pleasure accelerates life, but in fact it breaks it because the expertise won't let you move on. They turn your way into a circle where you run, thinking you are going somewhere. If you want to accelerate life, stop agreeing with everything that wages it. Guess the voids, lost hours on networks, useless conversations. Each no to a Sablaco gets a day for you. Days become years. Remember, rich and poor face the same shades, but some know how to refuse, while others pay their entire lives, because they have not said. Your money, your energy, your time are fuel. If you burn everything in awful and temptation, you will never have strength for your goal. Say no to expertise, and for the first time life will advance in a straight line, not in circles. You are not poor with money, you are poor with attention. Thread it for everything and is surprised when there is no strength for what matters. Imagine an archer with 10 arrows. Instead of targeting a target, throws in all directions. None get it right, so they live. Most people, they say yes to dozens of tasks, projects, commitments, but they do not advance at all. The truth is that your success does not depend on how many things you do, but how many refused. Each no unnecessary strengthens its yes to the essentials. Think about your day. How many times did you get your phone unnecessarily? Check social networks, open flaps that took nowhere, took on alien problems. Each of these yes deflected him, stole his focus, and turned his way into a dead end dive. As Cal Newport said, deep work only begins when we learn to say no to noise. It is the pure truth. Your life can double speed with one habit, concentration, but concentration requires refusal. You can't hold it all at once. You have to choose, and this is the hardest choice, because saying yes is easy, saying no is afraid. But only that word makes it free. Many people spend years in the rush, thinking they are busy. They make endless lists. They are proud of their own overload. But in the end, they realize that life has gone in detail. They scattered arrows and didn't get anything right. You can continue like this, or you can say a noise no and focus on what really moves it forward. Remember, attention is your biggest capital. If you distribute it to everyone but yourself, it will always be poor. The speed of your life depends on how many times a day you knew how to protect your focus. Say no to the superfluous, and for the first time, Feel that you have the strength to what is real. Acceleration does not start with more energy or knowledge, but with a short and powerful word, no. Now, just theory. Let's go to practice. If you want to speed your life, you don't need grandiose speeches, but simple actions. Here are 3 steps you can take today. First, identify your day and a necessary yes and change it for a no. It can be a meeting that does not add, an empty conversation, or an impulse purchase. Refuse. Feel the taste of freedom that comes with this choice. It sounds small, but it is this gesture that begins to propel it. Second, reserve at least 1% of what you earn. It is not a matter of value, it is a matter of habit. When keeping, you say no to impulsive spending but to your independence. A coin today becomes security tomorrow. Third, give yourself 30 minutes of silence. No phone, no tasks, no voices of others. Just stop. It is in quiet that clarity is born about what it's yes and what requires a non-definitive. Deserves. It sounds simple, but it is these steps that revolutionize a life. Say no to what disperses, not what it empties, not what it chokes. Suddenly you will realize that you have gained time, energy, and focus. Life accelerates when you stop distributing it to crumbs. Don't wait Monday. Don't wait for the new year. Don't expect the right time. Do it today, right now, because every postponement is a stolen day of you. Life does not expect you to prepare. It happens now, and every day is an exchange. Either you give it to trivialities, whims, and expectations of others, or invested in what is truly yours. It may seem that time is abundant, but the truth is hard. Tomorrow is not guaranteed to anyone. The only good you have is this day. And this is today that yours should not resonate. It is not the word that draws boundaries and opens ways. It cuts the superfluous and leaves only the essentials. She makes you the owner of the journey. As millennial wisdom says, anyone who learns to refuse the unnecessary conquers what really matters. While you accept everything, your life drifts in agitation. But when it begins to say no, the path clears and you feel the speed. You are not weak, just forgot the power of discipline and proposito. He forgot the strength to refuse what steals his essence. But this force can be recovered right now. Say no, and life will gain rhythm. Say no, and your dreams will approach. Say no, and for the first time you will feel that you are in charge, not dragged by the train of others. The choice is yours to continue to be convenient for everyone, losing years in the way, or being honest to yourself and starting to really live. If you want more of this practical wisdom, no noise, no blunt, just follow and share. What are you first ready to say today?